Alright, we are back for yet another week here on Fantasy Football in 5. This is going to be the week 1 video, where last week we did the preseason wrap-up and what to expect, so
check that below. Alright, so a couple of studs this week in fantasy include names like DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, Carson Palmer, Carlos Hyde, Rob Gronkowski, Marcus Mariota, and Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Mariota is the Titans quarterback, and in his NFL regular season debut, threw for 209 yards and 4 touchdowns. Great outing. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins from Tampa Bay, he's their tight end, caught 2 touchdowns for 110 yards this week.
Also, Travis Kelce from Kansas City, he caught 106 yards for 2 touchdowns, which was very good for a tight end, and he got those from Alex Smith, so watch out. Alright, now a couple of duds this week in the fantasy perspective would be names like Greg Olsen from Carolina, Peyton Manning and C.J. Anderson from the Broncos, Megatron from the Lions, and Odell Beckham and Eli Manning from the Giants. Now C.J. Anderson, he only had 31 yards, which is just pathetic, pretty much like the whole Broncos offense.
Greg Olsen, the Carolina Panthers tight end, he got 1 of 3 targets from Cam Newton for only 11 yards. A really awful week for Greg Olsen, as he was expected to be the main target after they lost Kelvin Benjamin. Alright, so a couple of injuries this week, pretty big list. Dez Bryant, he's up with a broken foot for 4 to 8 weeks. T.Y. Hilton, bruised knee, he's questionable this week, although he's expected to play. Derek Carr, he has his finger injury, he's probable for week 2. Travis Kelce with a hip is also probable. Josh McCown, he's in a concussion protocol, so he may or may not play. Deshaun Jackson, he's out with a hamstring injury. C.J. Anderson is a toe, he's questionable for Thursday night's game against the Chiefs. And Percy Harvin for the Bills is questionable with hip injury.
There's also Andre Ellington, who has a knee injury, and he's doubtful for the game. Delaney Walker, who has a wrist injury, and he's questionable but expected to play. Golden Tate with a quad injury, he's questionable. Mike Evans, hamstring injury, questionable. C.J. Spiller, knee injury, also questionable. Todd Gurley, he tore his ACL, but he's probable this week. He's been upgraded, which is good. Justin Forsett, shoulder injury, he's also questionable. And then Tony Romo with a back injury, questionable but likely to play.
Alright, so some big news in the NFL this week surrounds the Atlanta Falcons as they signed former #1 overall pick Jake Long. Ryan Mallett named the Texans starting quarterback. And Josh McCown for the Browns, he's out with a concussion, but he will play if cleared, according to NFL.com.
Alright, a couple of key waiver wire pickups you should look for this week in fantasy are Tyler Eifert, Kendall Wright, Marcus Wheaton, Alex Smith, Cole Beasley, Stevie Johnson, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, and Marcus Mariota, and then Dante Moncrief. Now, Tyler Eifert had a really big game against the Raiders. He had 22 points, which was excellent for tight end, and look for him to continue to perform well. And then there's also Kendall Wright from the Titans. I believe he's going to have a really good year this year simply because of the good connection he had with Marcus Mariota, and we'll see if that continues in week 2.
Alright, Cole Beasley for the Dallas Cowboys. Now we know Dez Bryant is out for 4 to 8 weeks, so he will assume the #2 wide receiver role down in Dallas. Dante Moncrief in Indianapolis, he's a pretty young receiver, 2nd year, but Andrew Luck really likes him. So if you need maybe a handcuff for T.Y. Hilton for a little bit, grab Dante Moncrief. Alright, that was Fantasy Football in 5. We thank you for watching. We deliver all your fantasy news in 5 minutes or less because who would want to watch a 30-minute video on this topic?
Amen.
Next week we will talk about week 2 and its wrap-up, so don't forget to subscribe to us so you can watch that video.
Also, our fantasy team had won this week with Tom Brady with 36 points and then Jeremy Hill with 19 points. So that we are 1-0 on the season.
Let's go.